Well, I want to at least start and find the lumber that I need for my raised bed today. But the problem is, inside the shed here, I'm kind of running out of the scrap wood that I have. Most of the stuff left is a lot smaller. It's not very good. I mean, some of it's good, but I don't want to use what I have in there. So I've got a new plan for where to find my lumber for the raised bed. That's right. We're going back up into the top of the shed. Now, the last time I was up here, I was looking for trim for the inside of the house in the foyer, or the foyer as my wife calls it. We got up in the top of the shed and it was filled with trim, original trim for the house. Some of it's a little beat up and it really needs to be cleaned. But there's also some old rough cut lumber up here, and I think I'm going to try and find some and use that for my raised bed. I know this footage is going to be grainy and it's going to be tough on the eyes, but bear with me. I found this rough cut piece here. Now this is just 1x material. There's not much 2x material up here. And so I think I'm going to try and use this. It's rough cut, and so it's real 1x. It's not 3/4 inch thick or whatever the stuff is nowadays. It's really 1 inch thick. But something else I wanted to show you that I didn't show you last time is this old manger here, or a feed trough. But we've seen some pictures from the people that used to own the house, and they used to have sheep here. And so I don't know if that was used for the sheep or if that was used for hogs or what. I'm not sure, but it's an old feed trough that was left over, and they, for whatever reason, put it back up in the top. But there's a couple of these rough cut 1x's that I think I'm going to try and use. And my plan is to just use extra supports, and I'm hoping that will keep the sides from blowing out real quick. That rough cut stuff is no joke. There's also some other 1x material here, you can see, but it's not the rough cut stuff. It's not the really old stuff, the heavy stuff. And this trough is heavy, let me tell you. I do have to be careful walking around up here because there are spaces you can see where there aren't, floorboards, and you can fall through. Like, especially over there, they just have some wire and such. Back over here, though, it's an easy place to walk.
Good morning from Teal House Farm. The UPS man came last night super late. We got some goodies we wanted to show you. In our desire to try to live as close to trash free as we can, I made a couple purchases with some money I got for my birthday, and they're pretty cool. First we got these. I have 5 of them, I think. These are reusable mesh bags that are for produce. So when you go to the grocery store, instead of getting those plastic bags of fruits and veggies, you can fill these up and just put them in your fridge, and then you can also wash them. I'm curious to use them. I'm sure I'll get lots of strange looks at the store, but I'm excited not to be bringing home all that plastic that just lands in my trash can. And then the last thing, I got 2 new diaper pail liners. I got a colored one that's multicolored, and a purple one. I've used these before. I had a couple that lasted me about 2 years, and then they weren't waterproof anymore. So the last little bit I've just been using a big trash bag, which is plastic and wasteful. So I've gotten them replaced so we don't need to use plastic anymore. And the best part about when the UPS man comes is that we now have a new toy that will keep us entertained for hours on end in the morning. What are you making? You're making a rocket ship.
I mean a mini white house.
Oh, okay. We're making a race car. What are you making, Ivy?
Making the outside.
On your race car.
I think I want.
All right, Mikey. Are you ready to go work? Okay, cool. What do you have on your head there?
What on my head?
Yeah. What is that?
A hat.
What kind of hat?
A farmer one?
A farmer hat?
Yeah, a
So you're-
farmer hat.
Okay. Oh, you've got your tool?
Yeah, I need to tap the tree down. Whoosh!
Okay, so now that I've had a night to sleep on it, I've changed my mind. I don't think I'm going to use the old rough cut lumber that I found up in the top of the shed. I don't know. Doesn't feel right using that old stuff for something that's just going to probably crumble and fall apart in a couple years. So I was able to find some 2x material that I think is going to work. This box is just going to be kind of put together piece by piece. It may not look that pretty, but I think it will be functional. And Micah is going to be my helper for today. Right?
Since Mom's at the store.
Right. All right, let's do it.
I finally found Dad since we're outside. And today, I'm going to show you all of our tools. And even the homesteader is kind of extra. So, we're going to be using tools today. Even about Dad. Because we're going to use this. The hammer. That's right. So, we finally found some kids. Are you two fighting? So, we finally got her. We finally found Cat.
So just got back from the store, testing out our new produce bags. And I have to say that they actually worked really well. I was a little bit concerned if the cashier was going to be able to read the number on the sticker through the bag, because they are white and not clear. But we had a cashier and she had to be, she was in her 60s, probably pushing 70, and she was able to read just fine. I didn't have to open them or take it out or anything so she could read the numbers. So far I really like them. You're supposed to be able to store them in the fridge like that, and once you're done with your produce you can wash them and reuse them. So we'll probably give you an update on a couple weeks and see how they hold up in the washer.
Okay, so I decided against using the old rough cut lumber that I found in the top of the barn. Just because I don't know. I don't feel right about using that stuff for a raised bed. I don't know. Just something about it. I think I'm going to save it and maybe try and use it for something more special later. I don't know. But I'll link up here. No. Over here. I'll link the video when I first went up into the barn and found a lot of the old lumber, a lot of the old trim. I'll make sure and link that up above. Here it is. A 4x10 raised bed. You can see on both sides here and down there, I only had 8-foot boards, so I had to kind of splice in what I had laying around. And I think I'm also going to put corner post in each corner and nail all the boards to that to give it just a little bit more stability. The last thing I'm going to do is to try and put a cross brace in here just to kind of keep the sides from blowing out. Folks, it almost brings me to tears. But we got the box done. I decided not to put my braces in the corners. All I have is treated wood, and I'm not a huge fan of using that, and so I think I'm going to hold off for now. But it feels awesome to finally accomplish something the day that I wanted to accomplish it. And so that feels great. Glad we got that done. Now we're ready to move on with that project. As always, I think that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.